The relationship between the General Counsel and the board is a critical one, particularly if you're concerned with board performance, and we all are. I'm Chris Clark, and this is BoardVision. I'm joined today, luckily, by Adam Amsterdam, the General Counsel of Broadridge Financial. Hi, Adam.
Hey, Chris. Thanks for having me.
How can that first-time General Counsel get off on the right foot?
Well, my advice to a first-time General Counsel is pay attention to the little things when you're dealing with the board. Because unless you have lawyers on your board, and generally you won't have many, if any, lawyers on the board, they're not going to be in a position to necessarily assess you on your legal skills, but they will be able to assess you on things that they're familiar with. Things as mundane as the delivery of board materials, getting them on time, getting them a week before a board meeting, making sure that the board materials are all presented in a uniform way.
So, are they seeking perfection, or?
It's been my experience that they're seeking perfection, because typographical errors in board materials, the way the board will look at that is, well, if this person can't make sure that words are spelled correctly and grammar is correct, how good a job are they doing on the stuff that I'm not an expert in? And those things will never be said out loud, but they're things that can linger in a director's mind.
They assume that you're a great, effective lawyer. No one's perfect, but you're a great lawyer. And that time to, what you say, is really building trust, because you're not only a communicator, a facilitator, you're an advisor to the board and the CEO. And I think that's the critical part.
That's right. And outside of the CEO, the General Counsel will likely have the most contact with all of the board members.
I've talked to many really well-respected GCs who say they kind of live in the gray. I have no idea what that means. What does it mean?
Well, I know what that means.
Okay, good.
For the questions where there are black or white answers, hopefully if you have the right type of legal staff in your legal department as General Counsel, you'll have a bunch of lawyers who could give answers when the right answer is either black or white. But what the General Counsel's role is everything that's between black and white, the gray. With the critical thinking that comes along with practicing law for a bunch of years, and the way of analyzing situations that come from a legal perspective, really applying that background and that training to the risk assessment of individual business decisions. And all of those, when I'm involved, they're never black and white answers. They're always answers that are gray, and people look to me as General Counsel to say, okay, what do we think is the right path and what's reasonable? And that's not just the CEO and the members of senior management, it's also the board.
It may sound simplistic, but being a straight shooter with your board and being a straight shooter with your CEO, why is that critically important? I think it is.
You know, fundamentally, it boils down to the issue of trust. And it's very difficult to get things accomplished when there's not a trusting relationship between the people who are working. And certainly the relationship between a CEO and a General Counsel, there has to be unqualified trust. And you build that trust by knowing the answers, getting to the right decisions, but you also build that trust, in my experience, by saying that you don't know something when you don't know it. CEOs, by and large, are pretty smart people. Board members, by and large, are pretty smart people. And they have a lot of experience outside of your company. I've always found that it's much better to say, I don't know, but I will get back to you within 24 hours. I will get back to you before dinner. I will get back to you before the end of the meeting with an answer. Much better to do that than to try to fudge your way through it and hope that you're right, because chances are
you're not going to get away with it.
You're not going to get away with it. And once you destroy that trust, I think it's very difficult, if not impossible, to rebuild it to back where it was.
As we wrap up here, I want you to go back 8.5 years. If there was an Adam Amsterdam 8.5 years ago and was advising you, what last thing, do you wish had somebody said to you, an experienced GC said, don't forget.
Don't forget to triple check. Double checking is not enough.
Okay.
Don't forget to triple check before making an important decision.
Adam, thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you, Chris.
If you'd like to learn more about board dynamics, board culture, the relationship between the C-suite and the board, please visit nacdonline.org. And if you'd like to learn more, and I think you would, want to learn more about shareholder engagement, shareholder communications, actual virtual shareholder meetings, please visit the Broadridge site. I'm Chris Clark, and this is BoardVision.